What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're about to watch probably the most pathetic rant I've ever seen on CNN from this woman right here. So let's not waste any time and get straight into this video.
Issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know.
She lives in a reality of victimhood.
Oh, let's go.
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
Look,
me
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You
the
cannot say that. You
I
can't
will
say that
run.
in this city. I'm
not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually
let her finish.
right here.
Let her finish.
I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there?
Sounds like the Democrats are racist. She worked for Obama and the Bidens, and sounds like they're racist, right? If that's the logic that she's claiming. I don't get paid enough in this country because it's systemically racist. Well, the system that you worked under was the Democrats. You work for CNN now. She's on CNN right now. What is she talking about? So who's not paying her enough? Society? What?
Scott.
Even in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
What?
Look.
I'm head Scott.
Wow.
Look, no,
You're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey. But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table.
It's like she's about to cry. She's about to cry.
Table you're in, not because
She's holding back tears.
anything other than
Look, you see how her eyes are blinking fast, right? She's holding back tears. Look, they're glossy right now.
than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it. And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about my story and my family's story, is that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes, to my counterparts. It is just the reality of the country we live in. And I'm not saying...
The country or your employer? Like, what are you talking about?
I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't ever tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualifications.
I don't agree
think we're
because
there in
when
2025.
Oh, come
I don't think we're there in 2025.
You can't do
That's just not true. That's just not true.
There's a mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay, let's just
Again,
take Ashley.
I'm a New Yorker, so I'm jaded. I have the Attorney General as a black woman. The mayor's a black man. The head of the Senate is a black man.
Okay, New York is a small representation.
Well, small.
of the
New York
United
is not that
States
small.
of America.
No, most black cities are ran by black people, black mayors, black police chiefs, black superintendents, black school boards. What are you talking about?
Politics. Let me talk about
Every judge I appear before is either a woman or a person of color.
Ashley just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and one of the least paid. Why would that make any sense?
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the...
Because y'all go get education and degrees that are meaningless. That's why. That should be the clearest evidence there. You got so many women that are so educated, but they're underpaid. Why? Why is that? Maybe because you're in industries that are meaningless. Or maybe you have careers like this woman right here that focuses on racial justice, social justice, and all of that nonsense. That's probably why. That doesn't contribute to society whatsoever. These people are perpetual victims. This is nonsense.
about the judges you stand before. Talk to
Why?
me about the
Whoa,
theory.
hold on.
Talk to
This
me
is
about
crazy.
the
But
world
it
in which
also-
we live in and
Let's
the
look at
system
the
that
United
we
States
live in.
Supreme Court. How could you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the legal
okay, New
system
York is a
that
more
I live in.
progressive
And we
state.
just got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on
brought
the
up-
Okay, but you had a black man from
You brought
the
up the
70s.
You brought up the Supreme
Or
Court.
the 60s.
Bro, Obama won. I mean, his first election with over 300 electoral votes. What are these people talking about? What are these people talking about, yo?
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are many...
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why
So
is
why
it
does it matter?
but why
So we
is it
gotta
so
go by
hard-
Guys,
numbers?
one at a
Why,
time.
But
why
so
is it so hard
So we gotta-
for
we
you
can
to
only have
acknowledge
two
what
choices.
she just said?
can
Why
only
is it
have
so
30%
hard?
Why is it just
of
one?
justice.
Why is there only one Italian American?
No, but why is it so hard for you to acknowledge what she just said about black women being the most educated
I
and
did
the most
acknowledge it. I said that's
And
not
you-
my experience.
Okay,
If that
but
was the
we're
case,
because
we
you're
would have
not a
more
black
black
And why do they
No.
need DEI? If they're the most educated, if they have the most merit, why do they need DEI? It doesn't make any sense. And then on the other hand, they still make the claim that DEI mostly benefits white women. So these people are never logically consistent. This is crazy.
No, I'm a
But
New Yorker, and
But
that's
New
not
York
the way
is
it
not
is in New York.
representative of the rest
You're
of America.
correct.
That's
This is so
also
crazy.
important.
It's also the most diversity in the country.
Well, that's exactly.
Like,
So of
why
course
wouldn't
there's
it
more
be? I think it's a
representation
little
in
more
women or
representative.
And Scott, I think if you really see you said something very beautiful. This is your friend. You guys share a lot of the same values. You guys think alike. You guys are literally friends off air. You text, you have good conversations. There is the yes and in that. There is something that says to me that you know what she's saying is true. You think she's smart. You know that she's smart. She's more educated than mostly everyone at this table. And so what she's saying isn't a lie. What she's saying is a real life experience. And so why is it so hard to understand why something like diversity, equity, inclusion needs to be a part of what we do in a system that never even acknowledged a group of people, never saw us as a human commodity, just literally never noticed who we were. And now here we are years later asking for some simple rights, some simple civilities. She's asking to be paid like you get paid. She's asking to be acknowledged like you get acknowledged. And she knows that that is not the case because she is a black woman.
She
So CNN is racist. The Democrats that she worked for are racist. They're the ones that control her pay, not society. Society is not the one that write her checks and talk about her salary. It's her employer. So yeah, with this logic here, CNN and the Democratic Party that she worked for is racist. This is nonsense.
had a high-ranking position in the
Hey,
White House of
dear
the United
friend,
States of America.
Dear friend,
she
there
was one of
are-
the most
dear-
celebrated political operatives in the
let's talk
country.
about, there's
Do you know how hard I had to work to get that?
Do you know
there's
how
a
hard?
thousand-
Do you know how hard the son of a garbage man had to work at it? So I'm just telling you.
I'm not saying that, but
Talent, and work
We're
ethic
not
are
saying,
everything,
we're
and that's
not-
why I think
it's
you're
not
here.
True. It's just not true. it's just
look,
not true.
The other thing is,
This is
the
insane.
access to opportunity is, I know you don't want to think that that is true, but access to opportunity is
And
what
that's the word.
DEI is supposed to address. And not just when it comes to race, although race is important, but when it comes to women, when it comes to people with disabilities,
That's right,
when it
Frank.
comes to people from different socioeconomic brackets, from rural parts of the country.
I think that's
and
the
other-
biggest issue, is there's different socioeconomic brackets
So now
more
we're
than
trying,
race and gender.
Now we're trying to say that everything is equal just because I say it is, even though all
This
the
is
evidence
Who
nonsense.
said everything is equal?
well, that's literally
said this
we're
everything
like
is
we're already living in a meritocratic society, is what Scott and his colleagues want to say, when that's actually factually not true.
do you not think
Factually, it's
everything
not
is
true.
Wow. Look at this panel right here. There's 6 of them, and there's 3 black women. They're overly represented, if that's what we're going to do here. So technically, you have 1, 2, 3 black women, and then you have 1, 2, 3 white people. So if black people are 13 or 16 or whatever percentage of society, that means these women being 50% of black and women on this panel is an overrepresentation, right? They're not going to talk about that, right? They're not going to talk about that. They're not willing to give up their seats for somebody that would reflect how this country looks, right? She's not gonna give up her seat for a white woman or a white man, another white man, right? I don't see any Africans on here. I don't see any Asians on here. What are these people talking about? They're sitting here overly paid to sit there and push perpetual victimhood. That's their career. That's it. Only in America can you be a millionaire and make as much money as they do and be overweight if you really want to be honest, and be a victim and be oppressed. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You can't be, you can't make six figures being the 1% of humanity, right? If you want to talk about the world here, and in just America alone, you're in the top 1% of earners. You're also overweight, and you wanna play victim? That doesn't make any sense to me, man. That doesn't correlate. It doesn't go together. It doesn't go hand in hand. It doesn't go hand in hand.
But I think it's
I don't
generally,
think
I think
of
it's
course not.
generally
So then
true.
what? So actually, okay.
But I think
then
it
let's
should.
talk-
It'll seek its own level. I don't think the government should be telling us
Arthur,
to seek
Okay,
its
but
own level.
but you
DEI is
literally
not
earlier
about, hold on,
just said-
DEI is not about the government. Y'all are talking to private companies
Yes.
and telling them you can't
Can't do
operate
it. It's
about
the
both.
way you
I
want to
think,
operate.
but Arthur,
But
you
it is
literally
about
just
both.
said, I don't think it will seek itself out because you literally just said human nature. That's how we operate.
That's
so
right.
sometimes,
Yes,
which is why the
I
civil
think
rights
it's more
movement was
I
so
think it's more
important.
socioeconomic
And
than
this is why, like, when they
racial.
talk about like canceling the Department of Education, why they talk about the federal government. The reason why the federal government was so important, particularly for Black people to seek justice in this country, is because it was the one bastion of hope that people had when states took control and they had discriminatory practice laws.
Okay, but
the
that was a long
Supreme
time
Court.
ago now.
What? How long ago? Tell me how long ago was that?
That was a long
How long
time
ago
ago.
was that?
We gotta go. We gotta go, but it was not that long ago.
I know.
It was,
it's
okay,
let
it was
him
not
tell
that long ago.
Yeah,
It was
so
in
long
Ashley's
ago.
father's lifetime. It was
I
in my
prepped to
parents'
talk about
lifetime.
Yeah, but it will. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how long ago it is. That's their grift, right? They will never give this up because they will never have any real jobs. That's it, right? So they can never admit that racism is over. They will never admit that, hey, you know what? This is a meritocratic country. It is race neutral. They will never say that because they will no longer be needed. Her job is to sit there on this platform and push the victimhood narrative. That's it. It's just to sit there and tell people, yes, this country is racist. Yes, you are oppressed. Therefore, you're not going to be able to amount to anything that you want to. Look at me. Look at me. I'm underpaid. Insane. These people are sickening. It makes me sick to my stomach to listen to bullshit like this. But anyway, let me know what you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about this video in the comment section. Hope you enjoy the content. And of course, if you do, hit the like button down below. And if you are brand new, consider hitting subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.